Good morning and welcome to the new episode of Battling Thyself. Have you ever thought of enjoying sweet idleness, Dolce for Niente? That's Italian phrase for sweet idleness. Think back of your last vacation. Did it take you a few days to unwind and let go of the work and all the drudgery, day-to-day stresses? Now imagine the last few days of the vacation, you are relaxed, you are carefree, you could lounge on the beach staring at the clouds all day, all night. It's not realistic to go through life feeling as relaxed as you are on the last days of the vacation. I agree. But I want to point out that you can add these moments to your life every day. For moments of niente, idleness, your over stress level will be reduced. You will slow down. You will look at the world in a different light. You will reset your life. It is these times that you will begin to appreciate the simple things in life. As a matter of fact, we have forgotten how to lead a stress-less life. I remember Arnold Stevenson writing, "What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare." Now, standing and staring is what exactly is Dolce far niente, the sweet idleness. This can be translated as well as into saying, "Oh, for a life of sensations rather than of thoughts." To do nothing doesn't mean that you have to do nothing. It can mean doing what you love and enjoying it. As a matter of fact, when you search for the art of idling, you've got to remember your childhood, the time spent as a child when you could do nothing and still enjoy, be happy. And look at the quality. I mean, say if you look at the quality of work in the various countries, especially those countries which have got a reputation of being happy, long life, you will find that they have a culture of being idle. Now, again, I want to stress idleness doesn't mean not doing work, it means doing what you like, and it means taking a time off. Many countries around the world today function on work days in excess of 40 hours. And I have seen a certain percentage, and not a small percentage, but a significant one, work 50 hours or more. And the Japanese call it crochet. Crochet is death from overwork. So this word, which is trying to recalibrate, is actually making the youth, the young, the working people die from overwork. So you have got to stop. Stop and smell the rose. And if it doesn't work, drink it. Now you would say, how do you drink a rose? You drink a rose by taking the rose, smelling it, inhaling it, closing your eyes, touch it, the gentle feel, but don't trick yourself. Now, ages before the 19th century, Charles Lamb, a writer, expresses indignation at having to labor, work hard to justify your existence. And I was impressed when he said, "Who first invented work and bound the free people?" Then came Karl Capek, who was contemplating the purpose of stillness and basically the sweet idleness, they'll say for niente. That should be the byword for you. Be like a stone, but without weight. Bertrand Russell, 1935, predicted the looming dangers of work alcoholism. Now, 36 years after Bertrand Russell talked about the danger of work alcoholism, the word was coined as a term. And practically all writers, all intellectuals have been talking of idleness. Russell's essay in praise of idleness is great. Now, fast forward from those writers to the modern age. Our cities are crowded, noisy, polluted, and medical experts are encouraging all of us to get away from it. What are the Japanese doing? Shinjoku. Shinjoku is the forest bathing. You remember, I had talked about it, that 95% of the diseases can be cured by forest bathing. You go to the forest, forget everything, embrace the trees, sit down on the ground, lean back against the tree, hug them with the front part of the body, lean against them with the back part of the body, talk to them. But can you afford it? But if you can afford it, you will find that you would have a better life. And don't forget, if there is no idleness, there is no wellness. The Japanese worker with their no room for idle worldview are the best. They have great living. But they are now undergoing a change. They are suffering from a disease called Inimuru. The workers are sleeping at their desks out of exhaustion. But look at the countries like Finland, Denmark, 4 day week, 5 hours per day, 20-day week. So can you imagine it? And the balance of the time they are not doing anything for the work, they are doing for themselves, for their families, for their dear and dear ones. And the greater work-life balance is considered one of the factors behind these 5 Nordic Scandinavian nations being the happiest countries in the world. 6-hour workday in Sweden, 4 hour in Germany. Fewer hours mean pursuing sweet nothings. You remember as a young person, you must have uttered sweet nothing to your friend, girlfriend or boyfriend. How happy you are. So why not have sweet nothing as far as the work is concerned? Now look at the culture around the world for idleness. The first, of course, comes sweet idleness from Italy. Dolce far niente. No matter how you feel about eat, pray, love. For the first time, Elizabeth Gilbert introduced the word to Dolce far niente. This phrase became the pop culture signal for the entire generation. And it was the biggest act of rebellion to try and embrace the sweetness of doing nothing. As a matter of fact, the basic concept is do anything without shame. Make friends with strangers. And by making friends with strangers, you make friends with yourself. And you don't drink to get trashed, but you take time to drink the wine. Savor life as you would savor a fine glass of wine. If Italy is there with its sweet idleness, then we have Nixon, Haig and Legon. Nixon is a Dutch import literally meaning doing nothing. Embrace the present. This philosophy encourages you to just stare at nature, laze around, listen to the music. You are fine as long as you are not looking for a purpose. Then Danish, Hig, this is a wellness fad of its own. And if you are Swedish, embrace Lagom. As a matter of fact, these 3 technologies are great. There's a comment by Singh Jaspal. Has anyone ever tried being idle in the company of infants? 6 months and 2 years old? I do, and that's the best part of my life every week. I absolutely agree with you. when I used to enjoy the company of my infant grandsons. Wow, that was an experience, unforgettable one. I fully appreciate that. Now, Lagom, the Swedish concept, is the soul of the Swedish, which originates from the rule of law. And Hegel, on the other hand, epitomizes Danish love for coziness and comfort. But then that doesn't end there. Laird 1 tries to define Laird as putting zilch effort to execute it all. No effort. If you can do something without effort, that's great. Laying around without doing a thing. And this Laird is basically a West Bengal concept. In Calcutta, an idea, idly over the weekend, I found a lot of people going for Laird, living well, lush laziness. And then it comes unannounced to hypnotize you. You are, then comes the Chinese, Wu Wei. This might be hard on you, but there is a Taoist philosophy of Wu Wei. Roughly translated, it means actionless action, doing without doing. So to cultivate Wu Wei, which can take person many years, you have to learn into the moment the way tree bends with the wind. Tree doesn't, wind comes, the tree bends. If wind goes away, tree comes up. So you could just go naturally, whatever happens. And then there are slow living hotspots in the world, which possibly you don't know. Everybody says Chinese work very hard. And they do. There's a rapid urbanization, soaring dreams, constant search for wealth. A new generation is tired of approach, especially a pandemic. Now what has happened in China? There are more than 100 cities that have been specially created for slow living. They are setting development limits, no traffic, no fast food. Brazil, the Cerrado Savannah in Brazil is the most ecologically diverse region. But then they lost that, and now there's a movement back. The indigenous communities, conservationists, others, they have come back. And then baru nut and macaulay coconut are the way. Japan, where the long working hours and little sleep for years was thought to be a virtue, are shifting now. Since 2009, the Japanese government has paid the country's youth to leave the cities and go to the villages, live there. And they have seen to it that the stressful city life makes it necessary for the government to take cohesive action to force the youth to go to the dying villages. Haiti, we consider this the third world country. US flooded it, and at one time, low quality food products were flooding USA thanks to President Clinton. But Haiti are rebuilding their agriculture industry by adopting slow food movement. And they are focusing on reviving dying food cultures. They are making additional efforts to revive cocoa industry. Is building new farms rooted in its own traditions. So traditions, stressless, idling. Now, there are some quirky ways of being idle. I am amazed. In Netherlands, when I visited, I found something very. There was something called cow cuddling. Now, basically, the worshippers of cow would like it. That not only in India they say Gau Mata, the mother cow. In Netherlands, it's a staple, and it's a sex explanatory. They go and love a cow. What they do is they go find a cow, love it, cuddle it, hug it, and they say this is extremely useful because it connects to the biodiversity. Then there's another in Central Asia. The ideal way of being idle is Ebru art. Ebru art is a stunning technique of painting on water using special pigments, and those dissolve the dyes. This art is very popular in Turkey and Central Asia. It requires a water-based solution, some uncommon tools, but typically involves plenty of swirls and streaks. And when you look at it, it's paper like a paper turned into marble. The finest painting in this art is by Van Gogh, The Starry Nights. Then, very interestingly, I learned about it. There's a habit of stone skipping around the water, especially. Have you ever seen? Say, when it's a kid, we used to throw stones in the lakes and the rivers and the ponds, and the water would bounce up, some drops would come. But you have to be careful that you don't throw stones where the boats are there, the aquatic animals are there, or the swimmers are there. But aim and release with your hand the way you would throw a frisbee. Put some spin on your forefinger and watch the stone skip once, twice, thrice on the water. And this is something which might sound childish, but it would relieve you of all the stress that you can have. We were talking of forest bathing, but have you thought of the sound bathing? This is nothing new, but what happens is you allow certain pleasant sound vibrations to wash over you. Think of it as a meditative experience, chanting Om or bee breathing. You listen to the sounds with a notable resonance that centers around you. You are surrounded by that sound. It might sound like an new age concept, but it's not. You might have seen the bells in Hindu temples, gongs in the Buddhist monasteries. So the sounds just overwhelm you. Crystal singing bowls, chimes, the wind chimes of China. These are the things you should have in the home. But there's always the internet. You can always go, take up a sound, play it on your speaker, and let it surround you, let it overwhelm you. You might say it's not yours. But honestly speaking, there's no wrong way to be idle. If nothing else, you can go to sleep. Have a nap. Why not? But somebody asked me, you work so hard, your day starts at 3 in the morning. Do you have an idol? I said, every 2 hours I'll take a nap for 10 minutes. Not exactly a nap, but I'll lie down. Every day I watch a movie or a play, and a play. Every day we listen to poetry, beautiful poetry. And that all is doing nothing. When we were initial, my wife used to do a lot in the gardening. And even now, she has small balcony garden. So you do nothing while doing anything. As I said, it's not being lazy, it's basically doing something which gives you pleasure. Cut away from the humdrum of life. This is a part of everyday life. And if you took the time every day, you will find that Dolce for Niente, the sweet idleness, will change the quality of your life. And you don't need much. What do you do when you are in free time? You catch up on your Netflix quiz, check your emails one time more. Why do it? Don't do it. So come to how to do it, how to be idle. First is disconnect. Disconnect from all media, print, TV, radio, social media, mainstream media. Getting lost in the media drains your energy, and you're spending hours getting stressful. So sweetness of doing nothing is exactly opposite. It disconnects you for the day. It's again like your computer. What do? When the computer is not working, you put it off and reboot it, and it's fine. So you doing nothing is like rebooting yourself. Turn your devices off. Enjoy your coffee. Secondly, get rid of the guilt. The problem is we live in a society full of planners, producers, consumers. Forget them. Don't measure the success of your day in how much you have got done. Get rid of the guilt about your to-do list. I have to do this today. And if you don't do it, what's going to happen? The world will come to an end? No, it won't. So you should be doing which will help you experience of Dolce far niente, sweet idleness. Watching TV can be stress reliever for some people, but you watch it for more than 3 hours continuously, you will find you become just what it is, an idiot sitting before the idiot box. Have a day of rest. All religions say 1 week means 1 day of rest. Sabbath, Sunday, Friday for the Muslims. So everything needs it's an important ritual that all religions have observed, whether it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is the material. But having a day of rest is a practical idea. But most people I know have lost touch with it. Try declaring 1 day of the week as do nothing day. Skip the work. Ignore your work. Stay home. Enjoy your family. Savor the day. Then find your inner artist. Draw a picture. Write a poem. Try a new recipe. Try to cultivate your creativity in a relaxing and good manner. When I write, basically, it's Dolce da far niente for me, because I'm cut off from the normal world. Then have naps. Revisit nap time. Naps are not just for the kids. A daily nap can reduce the risk of a heart attack and lower stress level. Go to a quiet park if nearby. Close your eyes. Listen to the birds. Smell the grass. And then stop doing something. I've seen young people. The moment food is over, they'll clean the utensils and fill the dishwasher. Why? Skip the dishes for once. Rather go out and watch the moonrise. Stare at the stars. Savor your dessert. Let me tell you one frankly before I end. If you can take a break, you can be sure, I can assure you absolutely, the earth will not stop spinning. If you pause your work, the world will not end. If you just are idle for some time, it will not mean the end of life. So take these breaks. Try to enjoy Niente for, Dolce far niente, the sweet idleness. And now, thank you. Let me go and enjoy my sweet idleness now for today. Thank you. But before I let you go, start this practice of Dolce far niente, the sweet idleness, every day for some time, once a week, definitely. But do it. Do it to become a better human being. Thank you.